What's up, Timmy Academy? Today we're gonna be going over a small collection purchase. Actually, not so small. From Greeneville, South Carolina. I was there last week, and I met up with a guy who was building a house because his wife has I guess it's maybe an autoimmune illness, environmental allergies, where pretty much, I guess she needs more of a sterile environment. So he was selling off his old 90s collection. He's got some stuff from newer eras. It looked like a decent amount of Mirrodin and like Theros, Darksteel, Fifth Dawn, a little bit of Born of the Gods and stuff. So there's not going to be a whole lot of value. I already went through and broke down and actually listed and graded everything, because I'm just trying to turn over product pretty quick here as the year comes to a close. But I just kind of wanted to show off and tell the story of it was a little bit of a different collection buy. So I'll kind of flip through this binder as I talk about everything. These piles are all this was near mint, LP, MP, and HP damage. This is the little guy over here. Let me just see if I can get the camera set up. I already pulled most of the stuff out of this binder. That's TCG worthy, but it's just a cool 90s binder. There's probably still some more value in here, and there were a few larger things. Charles got my queen, of course. Sliver Queen was in here. She was a nice LP plus. There were a few foil slivers as well that he got. There were a couple other larger things. Oh, let me pull. There was some reserve list stuff. A couple Four Horsemen cards, but not much. So fun stuff. We had some alliances, Tempest reserve list. So these actually came from a different set. These Phyrexian Dreadnoughts. Craig, thanks for these. They're going into my personal and not reserve list, not Four Horsemen, but for my Meekstone collection. So this was some of the Four Horsemen that was in there, and then for my Lightning Bolt collection. Antiquities. This is actually alternate 4th edition. Came across this in the bulk. See that? The Dark A. We've gone over that before, but I don't know if we've actually... I think we've looked at the A. So almost... Well, every Magic card will have that highlight in the top right corner of the A, except for alternate 4th edition. So I guess they tried to destroy it because it was considered a marked card. So yeah, I'd just throw all those in the binder. They're not worth a whole lot more than regular 4th edition. Four Horsemen, reserve list, Tempest reserve list, Meekstone, the Dark, Legends. I'm not sure if Sands of Time is actually a reserve list, but I threw it aside because I think it is. Anvil of Bowgarden definitely is. Temple Rapture, Lifeline, and then a couple Darkness, and some other random. We got some Donates, we got some Dream Halls, we got some Urtai, Baron, Second Chance, Silver Wyvern, Meditates, Wall of Kelp, Lightning Dragon, Witch Hunter, Radiant Archangel. Whenever I come across one of these in the collection, I laugh hysterically because, the taco flopped at midnight. We'll just say that. Recurring Nightmare, Unlimited Dark Ritual, sweet, and an actual alternate 4th edition Ivory Tower, which I don't have, and it's in really nice condition. More Temporal Aperture, Rafellos, and some original Trons in really pretty rough shape. Yeah, look at those. So that was kind of the reserve list, fun, spicy stuff that'll go into my personal collection. So the guy I bought this from, really nice guy. I met him, his wife, his kids, and they just needed cash for building this house, and he didn't have a list. I just kind of looked through the cards. It was dark. It was nighttime. We were in a parking garage. It was one of those parking lot shady magic deals. Had a cop rolled up, he would have been like, "What are y'all doing?" And, "Oh, we're magic cards, not drugs." So I didn't really have a list. I just kind of went off my gut. He had said that someone valued the binder at $2,900. Now we don't know if that was TCG low, TCG mid, whatever. But I felt that was somewhat accurate. So going off of that, I was saying 10% off the top in case it was TCG mid, so that brought it around to 2,600 or so, and then I took another 30% off that. So it was, I gave him 1,700 in cash, essentially, PayPal friends and family, since we were meeting in person, and told him, look, if I find any crazy stuff hiding in here, I'll send you some more cash. So after breaking it down, it looks like I may make a small profit on it, but most likely I'll be breaking even. Partially because there was a decent amount, and this isn't all of the TCG stuff, there was a little bit more. There was a lot of LP. This is the usual breakdown, but a lot of the bigger stuff was in this MP category, and then some of the things were actually in the HP. So condition definitely played a part in it. And after, I just started with TCG Direct, so actually my fees went from 18.5 and having to pay for all the shipping materials to 22.5, and still paying for some shipping materials, but not the majority. Usually around, I don't know, I'm shipping maybe 10% of orders, and TCG Direct is shipping the rest. But anyway, after about 23% in fees, I'm thinking I'll break even. But this is one of those scenarios where someone had a life. There's two reasons people are selling collections. Either one, something good is happening. Baby's on the way, building a new house, this was kind of the scenario, and moving, getting married. There's buying an engagement ring. There's a bunch of good reasons people sell collections, and then there's some life crap reasons that people sell collections. This was kind of a mix of both. They were building a new house, but it was because his wife was sick. I don't know what the financial situation or anything was, but in his words, they were flying by the seat of their pants, and I don't know if they were kind of struggling to get it done. So he didn't want to let the collection go, but he kind of had to. I think also because of the situation, he couldn't bring any of his stuff into the new house. And magic cards, these have been kicking around since the 90s. A couple of them in the bulk section, thankfully nothing in here, were water damaged, and a couple of them had like a musty, moldy smell to them. So, there's definitely probably not a good thing to bring them into the new home. So anyway, he was sad to see them go. So this was one of those situations where, I wanted to give them as much money as possible, and I wasn't exactly looking at it as a money maker. It was more bulking up my inventory because there was just generally a lot of cards here, and just putting some cash in his pocket. So like I said, I might make a couple $100 in profit on this. If truly it was worth $2,900 at TCG low, then I'll make a decent profit off of it. $700 maybe, 700-800. But if not, then I'll probably break even. Missed a couple decimates in here. These are $3 or $4 a piece. But yeah, I think I got most of the stuff in here. I got to go through this again with a fine-tooth comb. I know there's some stuff I missed. I don't think anything big, but some of these weird sets, some of the 90s sets in these, I wasn't really playing during this Fifth Dawn, Dark Steel, Panoptic Mirror is a thing. So I'm not sure, and I know I left some of the smaller pieces in because I was just kind of pulling out the big stuff to list, but yeah. So that's kind of the story of it, and I'm just hoping, that I know I won't lose my ass on it. If I do take a loss on it, it might be $100 or something like that. But hopefully I'll make a little bit of profit. He got some cash in his pocket to help out with the house and everything. So, there's a Ring of Gix. Fun. So we'll just we'll take a look at what we got here. There was some fairly spicy singles, like Burgeoning. A lot of it in the $5 to $10 range. There weren't a lot of big hits. There was no dual lands. Frankly, not a lot of revised in general, which is a little strange. But I guess this is more of a mid-90s collection. Just a little strange that there was a few, Four Horsemen and Unlimited. No Alpha Beta. Seaborn Muse, Lotus Bloom, Hinterland Harbor, Twin Gas, Fungus Sliver. So there was a whole grip of slivers. But I think the Queen was by far the best card that was in here. But there wasn't a whole lot of that above 100 price point cards. It's really just a lot of small pieces. Deserted Temple, there were 5 of these, 5 or 6. So those were good hits. They're about $18 to $20 a piece. Sort of Cauldra, and a lot of the stuff was original printing. So there's a couple small pieces. Is it Charms and whatnot, $1. But now that I have TCG Direct, I can actually make a profit off those little 50-cent cards. I can profit 25 cents on, and the dollar cards I can profit 50 cents on. So it's not terrible. Whole grip of Gemhide slivers. See that? There's 10 of them or something. Roots, small things, Pemzara, foil towels. Had this been any other talisman, it would have been probably $20 to $30. The Impulse is the not sought after one. Decent amount of Winter Orbs, or OG Phyrexian Arena, Mind Slicer. I didn't know this thing in foil. It's near mint. Is there's not even any listed on TCG. So I listed this at $60, not really expecting it to sell. I think the LPs are selling for around $45. It's freaking cool though. I'm guessing it's a Commander staple. I barely remember this card. Put into a graveyard, each player discards his or her hand. So you could definitely do some discard, hate, shenanigans, graveyard recursion, stuff with that. There was a place at a Kakusho, and 3 of them were near mint. That was about $60-$70. I just love that. Foil time shifted Goblin Snowman, so cool. Synapse slivers, some. And that's pretty much it for near mint. So I'd say this stack, $400 or $500, maybe, right? Does that seem appropriate? Maybe 3, 4. And then LP, there was a lot of the same pieces. There were 3s in play sets of a lot of stuff. Ice Crown Scepters, which, 2 months ago these would have been $10 a piece. Now the value is cut in half from Double Masters. Helion Winter Orbs. Breeding Pool. So there was a couple. There was 2 or 3 Angel's Grace Breeding Pool. There's some more Deserted Temples. Captain Stay. So this is like this era. I really like this collection too because it reminded me of when I was playing in high school, and there was a lot of the Onslaught, Invasion, Odyssey. That was kind of when I was 13, 14, 15, playing a lot, staying after school, catching the late bus at 5 o'clock, playing in the cafeteria, getting made fun of. So this was it was a nostalgic collection for me. It looked a lot like my collection back in the day, although mine was not nearly as big. Look at that foil Parallel Thoughts. That's so cool. I built a mono blue EDH deck for a get-together, small get-together in the mountains that we do every year. Shout out to the Night Watch. And I put this card in it and never pulled it, but it would have been fun. It was just like chaotic, steal your crap, artifacts that do weird things and give random people extra turns. It was chaos. I got targeted every game pretty much first and went out in 4th place, but it was a lot of fun. There was like 30 counter spells in that deck. A lot of Lotus Petals. Deflecting Palms, Finhorn Elves. Never underestimate the Finhorn Elves. They're like $2 a piece in LP, $2.25, something like that. In your mint, $2.75, something like that. Usually in collections, there's a bunch of them in bulk. And they sell all day long. They will sell like pretty much immediately. So never underestimate the Finhorn Elves. So yeah, nothing too crazy. Just a lot of good like 3, 4, 5, and a handful of $10 cards. So it's gonna take a while to sell through all this, but luckily, I'm on direct, so as long as I list all this at TCG low, it should move pretty quickly. There's the good talismans. Oh, that's the other one that's not great. Unity. But like just a lot of playables. So, I don't, like I said, there were some more Penanzars. I don't think I lost my ass on this, but there's not going to be a whole lot of profit in it unless I go through the bulk and realize, oh crap, there's something crazy here, but I just don't think that that's going to happen. So that's pretty much the majority of the collection. Let's look at what was in HP. And 2 R Shards, Catastrophe, Rith. There was a bunch of gold border stuff. These will sell. They're in HP. Some of them are damaged. They're all sleeve playable. They're up on my TCG store if you want them. I think I even cut under the low a little bit to move them. They're like $19-20 a piece. Actually, the Ancient Tomb I think is the most expensive out of these 3, which is kind of funny. They're rough, man. They're pretty rough. They're scratched and bent and dinged and all kinds of stuff. But they're sleeve playable, So, some of that fun stuff. And some of the moderately played. Let's see, Weather Wayfarer, Birds, more Lotus Petal, Seaborn, Deserted Temples, Sterling Groves, a couple Sterlings. Don't underestimate Fire Covenant either. Ice Age. Am I right? Nothing crazy. So that's pretty much where majority of the money was in this set. I'd say average card price $3 to $5. There's maybe 200-300 of them. So you're looking at 1,500, and then there was a small grip of more expensive cards that got the Facebook direct sales treatment. I'd say probably a few $100s worth. So yeah, hopefully I break even. I'll continue to rip through this binder and pull out stuff that's worth a couple bucks here and there. So an old brooch, those are a couple dollars. Just like straight up 90 binder though. Nothing crazy. And let's see, there was what? So that's my shipping container. That's pretty much the bulk. There were some old boxes which I thought were cool. There were a couple garbage pail kids. They're worth, I don't know, $1 or $2 a piece. I guess they're worth something these days. So there was just like a bunch of those plastic clip tubs, and I think there was two more over there. Oh, you want to see the wall? So here is all the bulk that needs to be sorted from all the collections I've bought in the last 4 months. Actually, a lot of these came from Denver, but since I've been in North Carolina, I've acquired a lot of. There's also probably 60,000 cards in another room in the house. Yeah, a lot of bulk. So that all needs to be sorted and gone through. Yeah. Thanks for the collection. Hope everything works out with the new house. You have an awesome family. You guys are cool. And I'm happy to own all this stuff. Signing off. Talk to you soon.